Aloha kako, my name is James Hustace and I serve as your Hawaii County Council Member for District 9, representing the communities of North and South Kohala. Just here to provide a new update since our last chat. Hope you all had a nice weekend. It was a nice, fun-filled weekend, and want to mahalo all the community members for being out in the community, connecting with each other, being a part of all the awesome events that happen across the district. And I was grateful to be a part of a number of them. And it's also amazing to see that October is soon upon us. This last weekend had some great opportunities to connect with the community and participate in a lot of events. Very full weekend from my Ka'i Waimea. It's always great to see community come together in those spaces, share ideas, and of course share their commitment and demonstrate a commitment to a place. So I want to mahalo to the organizers and the volunteers for holding that space and bringing the community together. It was also fabulous to be supportive and part of the Cruise and Brews event down at the Queen's Marketplace. This was a fundraiser for Evalu Industries, which is a youth work-based learning and internship and leadership opportunity for our community members. So fundraising, supporting them, great car show, great event, great vendors, great community in that space. I was even able to squeeze in a little bit of time at a Nui Nui playground, lend a hand there. Always growing up in Waimea, always appreciated a Nui Nui playground and the work that community gave to that space. So always looking for those ways to kind of give back and revitalize a much loved space in the Waimea community. Last week also had some good conversations with community members about green waste opportunities in North Kohala, as well as those ongoing concerns and trying to work with community members about finding solutions at the playground at Kamehameha Park. So some ongoing dialogue there. And then of course last week we had it was a smaller group in attendance for council members, but some good conversations about the general plan. And that was that first half of chapter 4. And so we have those special committees every now and then, and we have one tomorrow, which I'll talk about in a little bit, but that continuing deliberation on chapter 4 and looking at that. So council and committee are off this week, but we're back on next week for October 7th and 8th. We'll be in Hilo, and there'll be ongoing conversations and discussion about those possible charter amendments, Bill 72 and Bill 64. We also have additional consideration for our continuation of the free fare or fare suspension of our mass transit program. That's Bill 75. Bill 79 is a big one with the Kealikehi wastewater treatment plant and those upgrades. Large figure for that in terms of improving that system, moving it forward for the community there. Also had some really initial conversations about Bill 83, reducing our disposable plastic foodware and serviceware here in the county. So looking forward to those ongoing conversations there. Next week also going to be having some resolutions, transferring funds and supporting a number of efforts here across the community and the district, with the North Kohala one being the North Kohala Keiki Christmas Toy Drive. We also have some support for the Beekeeper Legacy Project and its ties to ranching and agriculture, especially here in the Kohala region. And of course, some support for the Hawaii Farmers Union and their state convention later this year. So some exciting things and exciting support there. With the general plan, I'm sure a number of you are familiar with the work that we're doing with the general plan and this ongoing conversation and dialogue we're having at council, where it really sits right now as we go through each of the chapters, review the chapters, deliberate amongst the council members, hear presentations from the planning department. So we're continuing our work tomorrow with another special committee meeting on chapter 4, looking at our sustainable resilient communities from public utilities, public infrastructure, public facilities, all those different sort of things there that fall under that chapter in chapter 4. And remember that you still can give oral testimony on the general plan. Tomorrow will be really a deliberation day by council members, but you can always submit your testimony either in person at the chambers or on Zoom. So tomorrow there'll be a continued presentation and then further deliberation starting at 9 o'clock tomorrow. So thank you all for submitting your testimony on the work we've been doing so far and your feedback on different chapters in the general plan. So I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And I always encourage you to submit testimony on anything that comes before council. Welcome to use that email address, counciltestimony@hawaiicounty.gov. And your written testimony is due at 12 noon on the business day prior to that meeting. Otherwise, you can give oral testimony in the council chambers or one of our remote sites. You can even request an option to give testimony virtually, and you can send that request to councilremotetestimony@hawaiicounty.gov. Thank you for taking the time to submit testimony on all these items. I value your insight on everything comes before council, so mahalo. Number of community events, always that, the first kick into the month, always a lot of things going on across the district here, and always fabulous to participate in as many as possible. So thank you for including me in those spaces and opening these up to community far and wide. We also have a little bit of road work going on across the district. Really looking forward to seeing some of these projects wrap up, that being the restriping efforts on Mamaloho Highway in Waimea at the main intersection out to Lalamilo Farm Road, as well as out by the Daniel K. Inouye intersection in that vicinity. Also up on Kohala Mountain Road, still expect some tree trimming and shoulder work along that stretch there. So any traffic impacts from that. As we look at the week ahead, a number of community events. We have the Kohala Night Market this Wednesday at the Kohala Village Mural from 4 to 7. We also have the Community Access Group that same afternoon at the old Kohala Courthouse, and they'll be meeting at 4:30, talking about our conservation efforts, preserving a lot of our shoreline access and those sort of things that they've been championing in the North Kohala community for a long time. On Thursday evening, the Waimea Community Association is holding their monthly town meeting. Their topic is really focusing on the heritage and future of Waimea. Really two big topics there on astronomy, as well as engagement with Parker Ranch, with the new lead and CEO for Parker Ranch stepping into the role. So that'll be at the Parker School Theater at 5:30 in the evening. The North Kohala Community Resource Center is kicking off their annual online auction. That's going to start on the 3rd and run through the 13th. So I encourage you to take a look at their website, northkohala.org/auction for more information about that. Later this week, we also have the Big Island Art Fair running from the 2nd to the 4th at Kohala Town Hall. You'll probably see banners across town for that. On Friday, big shout out to Chef Ippy with the Eating Our Roots season premiere, and that'll be down at the Monolani Auberge. So there are tickets for that on the Monolani websites. That event's in the evening from 5:30 onward. Then, as we always have, the Waikolo Community Markets, their first Saturday of the month, they're up at the Waikolo Stables for the Change of Place, running from 9 to 1. Up in Kohala, we have that annual bazaar at St. Augustine's Church. So I want to mahalo all the volunteers, everyone that donated for this annual bazaar for the community. And that's going to be this Saturday at St. Augustine's, running pretty much all day, 9 to 1. There's also a Narcan giveaway in Waimea at the Waimea KTA on Saturday from 3 to 5 in the afternoon. And then also this Saturday, there'll be the Waimea Arts Council, their Founders Show reception and awards. All those art being judged had been submitted this past weekend. So looking forward to seeing a lot of those amazing pieces that community members are putting in that show there. And with that, I'm honored to serve as your council member, so please reach out if you have any questions. You're welcome to email me at james.hustace@hawaiicounty.gov. You can call our Waimea office at 808-887-6077 or our Hilo office at 808-961-8564. And with that, I want to wish you good health. Be well. Aloha.